certification. Thank you to the SAC team for all your hard work and all you beautiful young people here who make me think a brighter future is possible. Thank you to all of you who took the time to be here. I know it means a lot to Perry. And thank you to this mama who had the courage to write this story and the grace to let me share it. So, just last month, my daughter Nell, she completed her nursing assistant certification. But there was a moment, y'all, a few years ago when I didn't know what Nell's future was going to be. It was 2018. Nell was in the 8th grade. The year before, her best friend had committed suicide. And Nell was spiraling. Her attitude had changed. She didn't want to go to school. She was getting bullied. Written up for disruption, she had already had 3 fights. And the girls that were bullying her, they were coming to the apartment complex and knocking on the window and calling her names. And they would mess with the meters at our house and bug her on the bus at school. I remember worrying for my baby at work. Are they gonna jump her when she gets off the bus? I was at my wit's end. I had contacted the school, requested a meeting. I wanted to bring the parents of the girls and me together. And we had a meeting, and I tried to tell them what was happening, that the girls were trying to jump my daughter. But even in the meeting, the girls acted up, trying to fight now, right there. And the 4 or 5 people that were present, they didn't say anything, not one of them. I had to tell Nell to calm down. I walked away feeling like nothing had really been resolved. And those parents didn't seem to believe that their kids could do anything wrong. It was just my baby. And I certainly didn't feel like the school had my back. And then it happened. The big incident on April 17th. One of those girls came up to Nell. She came up to her 3 times and even crawled across the lunchroom table until another girl grabbed her. Nell walked away, walked out the cafeteria, but the girl came running after her. Again, her friends tried to stop her. Nell kept walking. I told my baby, keep walking. But the girl came up to her and said, "Do you want to fight me?" Nell told her, "Get away, get away." A teacher came over to pull the girls away from each other. But the other student pushed back the teacher and then shoved Nell. And it was on. The fight started. And I remember the school called and they said, "You have got to come and get her." They were going to suspend her. Oh, I was mad. The situation was still going on, and I was wondering, why would they suspend her when she wasn't the person that started anything? I was thinking, how is my baby ever going to even make it to high school? Nell, sure enough, was put up for expulsion. And I called SAC. I called the Student Advocacy Center. And finally, I got some hope. Perry was Nell's advocate, and we got ready for that expulsion hearing. Perry met with Nell and helped her reflect on the situation and write the statement she would have to present. I remember that hearing well. I was angry that day. The school had spoken so negatively about my child. I was pissed. They weren't even looking at her as a whole person or at the whole picture of what had happened. They just blamed her. I lost it in that meeting. Perry had to call for a break. We stepped out the room. Perry out there trying to calm us down. We done went back in the room. Nell's trying to keep her poise. I'm trying to keep my poise. But Nell was really prepared for that meeting. And the board would say that Nell seemed different. They noticed changes. But Nell couldn't come back to school just because she met with SAC for a few hours. That wasn't going to be enough. So she was kicked out, y'all. Kicked out for 40 days for persistent disobedience and disorderly conduct. They gave her a laundry list of things she would have to do to get back in school. And I don't even think they really wanted her back, if I'm honest. They never even offered to help with any of the laundry list of things they wanted her to do. But guess who did? Harry did. SAC did. They provided her with the hours she needed to take an anger management course. They arranged for her community service, got her a tutor to meet with a couple times a week. They helped her write a paper and apology letters. They drove her to school. They helped her take tests so she could pass the 8th grade, and on and on and on. They saw my baby. They worked with her. And Nell did a complete 360. At the time, Nell said she had noticed a lot of changes in herself. You know, Mama, I used to argue back and forth with people and make them really mad to the point that they might want to hit me. And I don't even feed into that nonsense anymore, Mom. I take a couple breaths. I tell myself, don't do it, girl. SAC really taught me about taking breaths, about getting still. I'm a better person. I feel it. I'm doing so well. I think of school sort of as a job now. A job that, even though I'm not getting paid for it, that I go to every day of the week. I gotta act like a professional, you know? Because school matters. I can't fail it. I'm trying to succeed in life. Well, when August rolled around, Perry worked on getting my Nell back into school, and sure enough, y'all, she's back. Nell handled herself differently, but there were still challenges. The girls would try to bump into her in the hallway, and she'd tell me that what had happened and that the school still wasn't doing anything to support her. And I'm really proud of how she held herself and how she handled it in such a mature way. But I was also frustrated that it kept happening. I did end up having to press charges against the girls. But in the end, my Nell graduated high school, and now she's on her way to becoming a certified nurse assistant and ultimately a nurse. I don't know what I've done, y'all. If SAC didn't exist, oh my goodness. I don't know if Nell would be in college or interested in anything. Listen, I recommend SAC to anybody who has a kid struggling. When you don't have that support, you want to give up. You know, the truth is, when I was in high school, I didn't get that support. And I got in a lot of fights, and I caught a charge, and I struggled, and I didn't want that for my baby. That could have been Nell's path. Nell would have kept fighting. She would have easily been out of control and into legal trouble, or gotten a record, or ran away. Anything could have happened. I'm so grateful. To this day, I stay in touch with Perry. Kicking kids out of school doesn't solve anything. And it will wear you down and make you want to give up. But our youth and our families, they need support. And when we get it, so much more is possible. Just look at my baby. I'm so proud of her. Thank you, SAC. And thank you.